Thank you, Adrian. Good evening once again. And it's West Ham who will get this game underway, wearing all black, defending the goal away to our right-hand side in the first half. Arsenal in their red shirts, white sleeves, white shorts, red and white hoop socks. Anthony Taylor, the referee, and the blast of his whistle. Both sets of players take the knee across the Emirates Stadium to highlight the ongoing drive for diversity and equality. And it's West Ham who get this game underway. Another big night across the TalkSport network, live and exclusive from the Premier League. Already underway, Brighton against Wolves on the TalkSport app, and Crystal Palace leading Southampton on TalkSport 2. But here on TalkSport, it is a London derby with a place in the top four of the Premier League at stake. And we have to say, Dean Aston, the atmosphere inside the Emirates Stadium is much more buoyant among the Arsenal fans than maybe it has been in recent weeks.
It's been building. I've been here a couple of times this season. Victory against Newcastle, atmosphere was good, team playing well. I think they're really starting to get behind this young side. They can see the effort, the determination of these young players. And not only that, the quality. I absolutely love the goal against Southampton, the teamwork, the 1 and 2 touch play between the sides before Lacazette finished it off.
Now White plays it forward towards Lacazette, who is wearing the armband. Of course, receiving it following the Aubameyang affair. Of course, Granit Xhaka is back in the Arsenal side, showing that losing the captaincy cannot necessarily mean the end of your career, as the ball is played forward for Arsenal, long on this near side. It spins out of play, and it will be a throw in which Masuaku will take. 90 seconds played here on TalkSport. Goalless at the Emirates Stadium. David Moyes already gesticulating towards Declan Rice. This is 600th Premier League match as manager. Only Wenger, Ferguson and Redknapp have been in charge of more at the highest level, as Fabianski, a former Arsenal player, just invites the challenge from Lacazette. It's a hurry clearance, sliced on the far side. Arsenal have a throw-in, taken quickly. Tierney now with a break into the penalty area. It's swept back towards the edge of the Hammers box, and now Fornals has the opportunity to clear. And Michail Antonio, with short sleeves and gloves on what is a fairly mild evening, is unable to control, and Arsenal have it back again.
What surprised me about Fabianski there was, as that ball got played back to him, the spray coming off the spinning ball, you could see it was slowing up. He needed to react a little bit quicker than he did. In the end, Lacazette, setting a good tone for himself and the side, was only another step away from blocking that clearance from Fabianski.
Arsenal with the youngest average age in the Premier League so far this season, and they've also used the most players, maybe hinting at the problems Mikel Arteta has had in sorting out a winning blend, and also the injuries he has had to deal with as well, as Ødegaard flicks the ball in field towards Partey, and his return to the midfield has been a real plus for the Gunners. Now White finding Tomiyasu. West Ham are very happy for Arsenal to have the ball in this sort of area. 3 minutes played, 0-0 here at the Emirates, still goalless as well on the TalkSport app between Brighton and Wolves, and Palace leading Southampton over on TalkSport 2 by a goal to nil thanks to Wilf Zaha. Burnley against Watford was called off at 5 o'clock due to COVID issues amongst the Watford squatters. Bowen plays it forward for West Ham on the far side, but it's cut out by Xhaka. Xhaka goes all the way back towards Gabriel, who one or two Gunners fans have been talking about as a potential replacement in the long term for Aubameyang as captain, but his ball in field really sold Xhaka short, and ultimately West Ham have a throw-in on the far side with nearly 4 minutes played.
Well, you're right about West Ham. They'll be happy to sit in when the time is right, and they really do break quickly. They're third in the Premier League in terms of the speed of their direct attacks. They're happy to sit in a really good, organised defensive formation, but when they go at pace, which is something Arsenal, I'm sure, will be wary of, and especially the fullbacks, Tierney, Tomiyasu. Maybe one must go at a time if they're going to attack.
A James Ward-Prowse free kick has equalised for the Saints at Palace. That game on TalkSport 2 with Leanne Sanderson and Joe Shannon. A 7:30 kick-off, also 7:30 start on the South Coast. Brighton against Wolves on the TalkSport app. And the best way to follow all of the games this week is to download the TalkSport app, and every single week of the season go to the live game section and you can swipe between whatever games are on the air at that time. Arsenal have a throw-in on the far side, nearly 5 minutes played, 0-0 here at the Emirates Stadium, and Dawson will guide the ball all the way back towards Fabianski. Lacazette maybe thought about closing him down, but it's wide to this near side, and Diop into the path of Lanzini. Diop long and high forward, looking for Antonio, but it's headed away by White, and then the West Ham ball forward subsequently goes straight out of play, fielded by Mikel Arteta, who was a key signing for David Moyes during his time at Everton around 15 years ago. Played over 200 times on Merseyside before moving to Arsenal. Now Lanzini, infield for West Ham, wide towards Masuaku. Now Lanzini again, Masuaku on the left, where West Ham have a couple of players in space, but Masuaku comes back inside, and now Declan Rice will try and change the point of the attack. White to Dawson down the right. Now back in field again comes Soufal, but at the moment West Ham are finding it difficult to really pick a pass inside the Arsenal half.
No, but it's good patient possession from West Ham. They are similar in so many ways, these two sides. Arsenal happy just to sit as well and be compact, but that's a lovely footwork from Lanzini.
And then Lanzini has been fouled by Thomas Partey on the left corner of the penalty area. Anthony Taylor was very quick to make the decision, and it will be a free kick for West Ham in a dangerous area, and we have seen how dangerous they can be from set pieces so far this season.
They'll see every set play as a real opportunity. Dawson, Diop, Rice, Antonio, Souček, big players all willing to attack the ball. It's about the delivery.
Fornals and Masuaku are over the free kick here for West Ham, and there is a delay from the West Ham players. Now Fornals plays it square towards Soufal, back towards Masuaku. If it was a planned move, it didn't really work, but now Fornals has found Rice in space down the left, driven across the penalty area, sliced clear as far as Landini, and now Dawson lines up the shot, sliced with the outside of the right foot and nearer the corner flag than the goal.
Well, I can confirm absolutely none of that was planned. It was an awful free kick routine. I'm not quite sure what they were thinking, whether it was the stop and then the second player goes and the forwards weren't ready for it, and then eventually when it got recycled back to Declan Rice and the edge of the box, I'm pretty sure it wasn't Craig Dawson that was meant to have the final shot, and hence why he sliced it horribly wide.
Well, Craig Dawson has not scored a Premier League goal for some time, and Armando Broja has now scored a second for Southampton. They have turned things around. They lead at Selhurst Park on TalkSport 2 against Palace by 2-1, and Broja, on loan from Chelsea, has been a very handy signing. Anthony Taylor just came across to this near side and handed something to Steve Round, who was part of the coaching team here for Arsenal, as Lacazette is tumbled by Rice about 25 yards from goal in a central area, and this is a really good chance here for Arsenal.
Fantastic play from Lacazette as that ball got fizzed into his feet. He'd already held Declan Rice off to be able to take it on the back foot, and then as soon as he took that touch, he then just waited for Declan Rice to bump into the back of him, and down he went.
Leo Labada's given Celtic the lead away to Ross County in the Scottish Premiership. Still goalless between Rangers and St Johnstone, and also goalless up in Cumbria in that FA Cup replay between Barrow and Ipswich. But Granit Xhaka is lining up this free kick. His previous Premier League goal came from about this square yard of grass on Boxing Day last season against Chelsea, when things started to unravel for Frank Lampard, and he is the only candidate to take this free kick here for Arsenal. 9 minutes played, 0-0, but West Ham will be well aware of the threat the Swiss international poses here. Every single black shirt is back defending this free kick. Tomiyasu is a potential decoy to the left, but it's Xhaka who curls it. The wall leaps and does its job, possibly struck the back of Declan Rice on the head, and it will be a throw into Arsenal on the far side.
That's got to be one of the tallest walls, hasn't it, in the Premier League? I was thinking
Rice,
even though because of the spray you get your 10 yards, it looks so difficult to get that up and over.
But Arsenal have it now, a burst into the penalty area on the far side from Tierney, and it's a free kick outside the area, conceded by Soufal, and there are players from both sides squaring up to each other around Anthony Taylor by the corner flag, just in front of those West Ham fans on the far side. The yellow card is out here, and it's shown to Vladimir Soufal.
I'm not too sure about this, if I'm honest. I think Soufal reads this straight away, and then as Tierney goes across, he gets there first, just puts his arm across, a little bit of contact on Tierney. It's absolutely pathetic from Tierney. Gone down, holding his face as if he'd been whacked.
He was never touched in his face, was it?
No, it was completely bought the foul, made such a meal out of it. And it's never a yellow card.
Ødegaard is over the free kick, 3 goals in 3 games, but the angle may be a bit tight here. But it's a long time now for Vladimir Soufal to try and manage that yellow card. Up against players like Martinelli and Tierney. But a free kick here for Arsenal, which is much, much better than a corner.
I always think can you work something clever? You know, you're right by the byline, you're close to the 18 yard
the area.
Exactly, but is there something clever you can work here rather than just trying to play in to West Ham's hands, who've got the height in the 6-yard box?
Ødegaard clips it in towards the near post. That wasn't clever, headed away by Declan Rice, and West Ham will try and break themselves now, but Tierney lobs it over the top, and there was a chase here for Martinelli. He's quick, and he's won the ball inside the penalty area. Bowen goes down, and now Bowen has got the free kick in about the same area where the original challenge was made, and West Ham can clear.
He's quick, isn't he? Martinelli, he is sharp, over 5 or 10 yards. Bowen wasn't expecting it, probably lucky to get away with that, I would say. Thought Martinelli did well.
A reminder, heading towards half-time, Brighton 0, Wolves 0 in the 7:30 kick-off on the TalkSport app. Burnley against Watford was postponed, but it's Crystal Palace 1, Southampton 2. Zaha with the opening goal for Palace, but 2 goals in 4 minutes from Ward-Prowse and Broja have put the Saints in charge at Selhurst. And that game is on TalkSport 2 this evening, as Lacazette controls on the halfway line, does well to ride the challenge of Lanzini. Ødegaard now wide towards Saka, who has barely seen the ball so far down the Arsenal right. 3 West Ham players converge on him. Tomiyasu with a high cross swirl towards the far post, guarded behind by Bowen, and Arsenal have the game's first corner.
Well, West Ham aren't happy because Pablo Fornals took an arm to the face from Gabriel, but Anthony Taylor couldn't see it, and then the attack went down this right hand side for Arsenal. Declan Rice came across to double up on Saka.
Corner kick whipped in towards the near post. Once again it's Declan Rice who rises to head clear. Ødegaard goes back towards Tierney, who is the last man for Arsenal. Left-footed ball wide to this near side, and it's overhit, and it will drift out of play for a throw into West Ham by the corner flag. A goal in the FA Cup. It is Barrow 1, Ipswich 0. Jordan Stevens with the opening goal of that replay. The winners travel to Barnsley in the 3rd round.
And I think with Saka being such a threat for Arsenal, it was no surprise there to see, as soon as that ball went into Saka's feet, Declan Rice came scurrying across just to double up on Saka, who then had to go backwards. Such a feature of this West Ham side. Rice, Souček, both willing to sprint out to help their fullbacks. And
it's Arsenal 0, West Ham 0 on TalkSport, with now And don't forget, with a Now Sports Day membership, you can stream all the Sky Sports action for just $9.99 without a contract. Search Now Sports. 14 minutes played at the Emirates Stadium. Raucous atmosphere here on a very mild evening for mid-December. No need for the hat, scarf and gloves here tonight as Masuaku plays the ball in field for Souček. And now Diop will find Dawson once again. Of course, Angelo Ogbonna, a big miss at the heart of the West Ham back four. Unlikely we'll see him again this season. And Aaron Cresswell unavailable for this game on the left, although he could be back fairly soon, possibly for the Norwich game at the weekend. Now Lanzini back towards Masuaku, who has been notable on his return to the team for that winner against Chelsea and West Ham's most recent Premier League win, but it's only one win in their previous 5 games, and the very high standards they set themselves in the opening 3 months of the season have just dropped off ever so slightly. But Antonio nudges off Tomiyasu, but Anthony Taylor has given a free kick to Arsenal for an earlier challenge, Masuaku catching Saka.
Yeah, it was just a bit too sharp for Masuaku there. Saka just waited, delayed until Masuaku was in striking distance with that cobra-like jab of the left boot. Saka, of course, rode the challenge and won the foul.
Now Tomiyasu. Partey plays it into the centre circle for Xhaka, and West Ham are content for him to spray it wide to the left-hand side, maybe because they knew he was going to horrendously overhit it beyond Tierney, and it will be a throw-in for West Ham. Nearly 16 minutes played here on TalkSport. You can follow all 3 of the remaining Premier League games across the TalkSport network here tonight. And Wolves have taken the lead away to Brighton on the stroke of half-time on the South Coast. Romain Saiss has scored there. And if you want to follow that game in full, then download the TalkSport app and swipe to that game. Here is Diop now for West Ham, wide to this near side, and Lanzini. And many West Ham fans were pleading with David Moyes to try and find a role for him in the West Ham team, and recently he's been able to do that. Dawson now spreads it wide to the far side. Ansu Fati infield to Souček, the 2 Czechs in tandem. Now Soufal once again finding Bowen, and for the first time in the game, West Ham able to knock the ball around inside Arsenal territory, and it's headed away eventually by Martinelli, and the Hammers will have a throw-in midway inside the Arsenal half.
But Arsenal have become this type of defensive side that are okay with the opposition having a bit of possession. All in their shape. Saka back, Martinelli back, Odegaard back as well, all in a good shape. It's just, can they, when they do win the ball back, can that ball stick at Lacazette's feet, and then they can feed off that.
And a long throw into the Arsenal penalty area has been headed behind by Tierney, and West Ham have their first corner. They have scored from 6 corners so far this season. Nobody else in the Premier League has done that more. And Bowen is over the corner on the far side. Plenty of movement around the penalty spot from Dawson, but it's deep towards Dawson. Ramsdale has dropped it inside the area. No free kick given by Anthony Taylor, and Arsenal are able to scramble the ball clear, and West Ham have a throw-in on this near side.
Well, that West Ham will do that because they like that in-swinging corner that really troubles the goalkeeper. They put players in around the goalkeeper, make it difficult. I felt it was a foul on first view.
Well, Anthony Taylor waved away any Arsenal appeals. Now he's heading towards this near side again, and he is talking to a member of the Arsenal backroom team, and words have been exchanged, I would imagine via the 4th official here tonight, and it will be a restart for West Ham. But Anthony Taylor doing his best to keep a lid on things on and off the field.
Yeah, I think he was maybe been told by the 4th official there in his ear that one of the Arsenal coaching staff had been a little bit too vocal. So competitive, I have to say, this game so far. You can't say that either side has taken a foothold.
Graham Scott is the fourth official this evening. That was a late change, with Peter Banks heading to Stockley Park to become the VAR official. 19 minutes played. Arsenal 0, West Ham 0. Here on TalkSport. And we have more exclusive Premier League commentary coming up tomorrow. Leicester against Spurs will be on the TalkSport app. I'll be at Stamford Bridge alongside Trevor Sinclair for Chelsea against Everton. Adrian, Sam and Mickey Gray will be at Anfield for Liverpool against Newcastle. All three of those games live and exclusive to the TalkSport network tomorrow evening. As Soufal comes forward now inside the centre circle, but he's challenged by Martinelli. He plays it back to Partey. Partey then tangles with Antonio. Antonio has gone down clutching his face, but the free kick's been given to Arsenal.
Well, it was fantastic work from Martinelli, because he made a mistake in misjudging the ball across, went over his head to Soufal's chest, then he tackled back brilliantly, and then Partey just came across nice and strong, but again, as he goes to throw his arm across and then pulls it back towards Antonio, who takes a whack straight on the end of his nose. I think he's okay, he's up.
Well, currently 0-0. Here are the latest odds from Betfair, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage. You can back Arsenal at 5-4, the draw 11-5, West Ham at 3-1. That odds update is all thanks to Betfair, where you'll get no cash-out suspensions on match odds and over and under goal markets on football. 18 plus, begambleaware.org. 21 minutes played, 0-0. Neither goalkeeper has really had anything like a shot to save so far. It's been incredibly frenetic, a typical London derby, as Diop challenges Ødegaard midway inside the West Ham half. Now Saka almost gives the ball away to Antonio in front of the West Ham technical area, but here is Gabriel in towards Thomas Partey once again. High over the top from him, looking for Saka, but guided away by the head of Diop, and Lanzini with the presence of mind to play it back into the penalty area, and Diop and Masuaku will try and work it clear on this near side. Saka lunges in on Masuaku, but gets nowhere near the ball or the man, and West Ham will clear, but it's quickly won back by a combination of Xhaka and Partey. But now a header in field from White only finds Antonio, and West Ham have the opportunity to move forward here, but it's a poor ball wide to the right hand side from Antonio, looking for Soufal, but West Ham quickly have it back. Masuaku now wide to this near side, and Fornals, and his creative qualities have rather been swept up by the pace of the action so far. But Soufal now on the far side, finding Declan Rice, and Souček will find Diop, who makes his way into the Arsenal half with 22 minutes played. 0-0. Saka challenging Masuaku, and it's Arsenal who have the throw-in, and it is 100 miles an hour.
It is, and also there's just no gap between Arsenal centre-backs and West Ham centre-backs. It's all so congested in the middle of the park, very snappy, as I would call it, like crocodiles sticking their heads out of the water. The minute the ball goes towards you, the ball's going to get taken away, snapped away.
Souček has been robbed by Ødegaard. Back in field towards Partey once again, but when West Ham do lose the ball, they get back very, very quickly. Saka now looks up and sees 7 West Ham shirts massing around the edge of their own penalty area.
Where's the running off the ball, I would say? Both sides. Where's that running off the ball? Maybe going into a position that's not natural to you, running in behind.
Here is Partey now. He was looking to shoot, but he's challenged right on the edge of the penalty area. No free kick has been given. A West Ham player is still down as Antonio breaks forward now, isolating White, and he's breezed beyond him towards the edge of the penalty area. He then goes down. The challenge coming in on the edge of the Arsenal box from White, who'd recovered his position, and no free kick given there. But Pablo Fornals is still down. Now he's hobbling back to his feet on the edge of the West Ham penalty area. So there's no offside here as Martinelli comes forward down the right, has Lacazette and Ødegaard ahead of him, but it's an excellent ball wide to this near side, and Saka curls it in high to the far post. Lacazette nods it down, but it's volley clear. by Souček up towards the halfway line once again.
I've got to say, the tempo of this game is absolutely brilliant. If you're not mentally switched on and sharp, you will get lost in this game.
Here is Saka now. Double coverage for him from Lanzini and Masuaku. He looks to play a 1-2, and Saka has won it back from Masuaku. Goes down inside the penalty area. Both players are down, possibly requiring treatment. Anthony Taylor gives nothing. Now he's given a goal kick, but will Stockley Park intervene?
Well, I'm not sure they will, because Masuaku actually is very brave, because I think he knows he's going to get a whack here as he steps across Saka as he's about to make a challenge. It's just who touches the ball first between Saka and Masuaku. I think he's made the right decision. Masuaku takes a whack. Saka's hurt as well because he's tried to shoot and kick the back of Masuaku's leg.
Well, is it a clear and obvious error not to give the penalty?
No, because it's so difficult to know actually who's got a tiny touch on the ball. I just thought Masuaku, he knew he was going to get a whack, put his leg in the way anyway to get a touch on the ball, and Saka actually in the end just about kicks Masuaku, but he took a real gamble.
Half time elsewhere in the Premier League. Brighton 0, Wolves 1. Romain Saiss in first half added time for Wolves. They've scored a goal, and also at Selhurst Park it is Crystal Palace 1, Southampton 2. Wilfried Zaha scoring in the second minute, but 2 in 4 minutes around the half hour from James Ward-Prowse and Armando Broja have given the Saints a half-time lead. You can follow both of those games via the TalkSport app and TalkSport 2 for the rest of the evening. Barrow now lead Ipswich by 2-0. Robbie Gotts, the former Leeds player, has got the second goal just before half-time at Holker Street. Still 0-0 between Rangers and St Johnstone in the Scottish Premiership. Celtic still lead at Ross County by 1-0. And Arsenal's women are also in action tonight in the Champions League. They need to avoid a heavy defeat away to Hoffenheim to go through, and they're already a goal down. Play resumes. A goal kick from Fabianski up to the halfway line, right into the path of Declan Rice. Now Masuaku caught by Saka as he plays it forward, and as a result it was a hurry pass, but Saka initially won the ball, and it will be a throw-in to Arsenal on this near side. 26 minutes played here on TalkSport. Don't forget you can look back on all of tonight's action, look ahead to the games coming up tomorrow night across the TalkSport network on the Sports Breakfast tomorrow with Alan Brazil, Ali McCoist and Neil Warnock.
Well, I tell you what, if you're out there as a player just thinking, when is this going to settle? When is this game just going to go down a notch in terms of tempo? Because not many players at the moment can cope with how fast and frenetic it is.
Now Saka on this near side, nutmegs Masuaku. Maisie dribble towards the byline, back to Tomiyasu. High diagonal cross towards Lacazette, who nods it down. Martinelli controlled it. I think he was looking to shape for the overhead kick, but it's headed away in the end by Souček. But now Gabriel careering forward up towards the edge of the penalty area. Lacazette once again in towards Odegaard. Lovely touch from him, finding Martinelli. Excellent challenge now. Lacazette looking to bundle his way through. Was he brought down by Dawson? Strong appeals from Arsenal off the field at least. We now have 3 players down inside the penalty area. Lacazette, Dawson and Martinelli. But once again, Anthony Taylor said no penalty.
Bodies lay everywhere inside the penalty area. Dawson makes such a good challenge twice, honestly. First of all, he dives in on Martinelli, and then again he knows he's probably going to get a whack from Lacazette, dives in and does take a whack. He doesn't get any of the ball.
He's nowhere near the ball.
He doesn't get. He actually tackles over the top of the ball, crunching through Lacazette. Very lucky.
Well, already in this game, no goals, but so much to discuss, and you can talk through the action later on with Cundy and Ambrose on the sports bar. 03717 22 33 44 is the number, and they will be on the air from 10 o'clock, and we will have live reaction from the touchline here at the Emirates Stadium during the first hour of the show. And Anthony Taylor, credit to him, it's a London derby and he's doing his best to allow the game to flow.
He is. I mean, again, how do you call that in real time if you're Anthony Taylor? He was in a great position. He was inside the box, which he can't get much closer to the action with the tackle on the edge of the 6-yard box, but so difficult to make a call there when there's bodies flying in.
Nearly half an hour played. Goalless here at the Emirates Stadium. David Moyes has never won here as a manager previously. 4 draws and 13 defeats, his record. But his team arrive above Arsenal in the table, but that would change if the Gunners can win this game. And Saka moving forward again on this near side, comes in field beyond Masuaku, finding Ødegaard, poked back through, and it was left there by both Diop and Masuaku, and had Saka been alert to the possibilities, he would have been in.
I've got to say, I've been so impressed with West Ham's defensive positioning. Rice just comes across, Lanzini drops, they almost make a square for Saka to run into, and then it just gets squeezed, and he just then hasn't really got any options. They've really sort of earmarked Saka as a dangerous player, and as soon as he gets it, West Ham players just come across and converge on him.
Half an hour played, 0-0 here. Half time in the other games in the Premier League tonight. Wolves leading at Brighton, Southampton 2-1 up at Palace. Saka looking to run at Masuaku once again down the right, checks in field to find Ødegaard, wide to Tomiyasu, looks to complete that triangle of possession with the through ball back towards Saka, who was in behind Masuaku, but it was overhit and it's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's only the second time actually that Tomiyasu's looked to then overlap Saka. I think that's needed to help him as he ducks inside on his left foot. He needs Tomiyasu to be brave and go on the outside. They're just lacking that little bit of quality, and it has to be quality because of the pressure that they've got on them.
Alfredo Morelos has put Rangers 1 up at home to St Johnstone in the Scottish Premiership. Celtic still a goal up as well away to Ross County, and Barrow still leading Ipswich by 2-0 in the FA Cup as they approach half-time at Holker Street. 31.5 minutes played here. Still 0-0 on TalkSport with WeBuyAnyCar.com. Hundreds of branches, usually only 15 minutes away. Find yours now. Diop all the way back towards the former Arsenal keeper Fabianski. Clears long downfield, wide to the far side once again, and it's nodded on well by Soufal, but it's beyond the on-rushing Bowen, and it's back towards Aaron Ramsdale, who has not had a huge amount to do in this game.
No, Arsenal top saves per match for Aaron Ramsdale, so he'll be quite pleased, if I'm honest, to not have to be called upon.
Does that mean they've defended poorly?
Well, yeah, because it means he's having to make save after save in most games, and he's been up to the task, hasn't he, since he joined Arsenal. But at the moment, both teams are just completely cancelling each other out. There's just no room between both defences. Now, I think that's when you need runners in behind. You need to try and stretch the two back fours into having to retreat and open up that space for midfield players.
Arsenal, though, giving the ball away again. Here is Antonio down the right. He's taken down by Partey, but he won the ball, but it breaks kindly for Bowen. And now Souček looking to break towards the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. He's been caught by Lacazette, and it will be a free kick. 10 yards in from the corner flag on the far side, the Arsenal right. And only Everton have conceded more errors leading to goals in the Premier League this season than Arsenal, and we almost saw that again there.
Yeah, it's a lovely dive from Souček. Literally just got a little touch on the arm, took 2 steps and then went down, but managed to convince the officials that it was a free kick from Lacazette, who working hard, that's for sure.
Free kick for West Ham, which Bowen will take on the far side. Lanzini lurking with intent on the edge of the area. Diop waiting at the near post along with Antonio. Dawson may make a late run in from the edge of the penalty area towards the far post, and it's whipped in towards that general direction. Cleared as far as Fornals. Right foot corner from him is just wide, and that was coming back a long way from Pablo Fornals, but not quite enough.
Well, your voice just went up a tiny notch because we had a perfect view of it. We could see it arcing back in towards the goal from Fornals, and he looked to bend it in with his right foot into that far right-hand corner. It's a great effort. Ramsdale sprawling to his left, was not sure he had it covered.
Well, Ramsdale now clears downfield and finds Lacazette. Xhaka was urging Tierney to make the run forward down the left, but he stayed where he was, and now they have a conversation with plenty of arm waving as White plays it square towards Gabriel. 34 minutes played, 0-0 here at the Emirates Stadium on TalkSport. We will have Liverpool against Newcastle coming up tomorrow night, with Chelsea against Everton on TalkSport 2 and Leicester against Spurs on the TalkSport app. A third successive big night of Premier League action only on the TalkSport network, as Rice plays it forward towards Lanzini again, square towards Fornals. Good football here from West Ham in a confined area. Infield again from Soufal to find Lanzini down the right, on towards Bowen, who can attack the penalty area. Comes infield onto the left, but it's still Bowen, fires in the shot, blocked by Martinelli on the edge of the area. Now Rice wide to this near side again. Masuaku with a very animated Mikel Arteta just behind him, as Rice swings a high ball to the far side. It's gathered by Soufal, who will try and deliver the cross in, but it's blocked by Tierney. Tierney doing well to come back and nod the ball away to avoid conceding the corner, but Bowen working hard to ensure that Lacazette can't break on the far side, and West Ham retaining possession here deep inside the Arsenal half with Rice. Now Fornals back to Dawson, who is the last man just inside the Gunners half, as the Arsenal crowd look to get behind their team once again. Maybe sensing they need a bit more support here, because Arsenal are seeing West Ham dominate possession here. They can't get near them.
They can't. It's excellent football, but they're not going anywhere. They're not. Arsenal are happy. Same when Arsenal have the ball and West Ham sitting. They're not going anywhere. It's frustrating me at the moment. If I was either Lacazette or Antonio, I'd be annoyed. I'd be getting at the players. Where are the players running beyond me? Where are the players trying to stretch the defence? I don't see anywhere near enough of that, if any, from the midfield wide players. Also, if you're really quick, like Saka and Antonio and Martinelli, if you're really quick, why don't you want to use that?
Here is Rice now charging forward for West Ham towards the edge of the area, wide towards Soufal on the right. Early cross delivered high to the far post over the head of Antonio, cleared away by Tomiyasu as far as Lanzini, looking for support to his left, and it's Masuaku who tries to drive in the cross high over the top. He scored from a similar position against Chelsea, but you don't get that lucky twice.
No, you don't. It was actually a really poor effort, poor decision from Masuaku. When you're in that position just on the edge of the 18-yard box out wide, you want to just fizz that across, making the defenders think, can I touch this back towards my own goal? It's a really poor decision.
And from 4 a.m. every weekday morning, you can download the TalkSport Daily podcast. It will include some of the best bits from TalkSport and TalkSport 2 over the last 24 hours. It will be full of reaction from tonight's Premier League action tomorrow morning on the TalkSport Daily. You can listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify or Acast. As Antonio unable to keep the ball in play on this near side, and Tomiyasu will take the throw in.
I'm just thinking in terms of Antonio, you'd think he's a nightmare to play against. He works incredibly hard. He looks to take the ball off you as a defender. So far, White, Martinelli, I would say, comfortable evening's work so far. And you just wonder, talking to Adrian before the game, is he protecting himself? Does he want to make those really long runs into the corner, or is he adapting his game a little bit more?
1 in 12, 8 without. You've got to keep scoring.
You have. If you're going to be that number 9, especially if you're not getting lots of goals from the wide players, you could forgive the likes of Firmino and Jota, when you've got Salah and Mane getting goals either side of you, they rely on Antonio. They need his goals.
Well, only the top three have scored more goals this season than West Ham, and of course they've had those notable victories against both Liverpool and Chelsea, 3-2 at home, but the goals have dried up more recently, and it was a fairly barren 90 minutes at Turf Moor on Sunday in that goalless draw against Burnley, as Lacazette comes forward now for Arsenal. No real support around him further forward, but he's done well to find Saka. Saka into the area, plays the 1-2 with Ødegaard, plays it back to Xhaka, but the shot is blocked brilliantly by Dawson on the edge of the 6-yard area, and then fired back in by Tierney, tipped onto the crossbar by Fabianski. The ball is still loose inside the penalty area. Now Ødegaard on this near side, finding Lacazette, who juggles with it inside the penalty area, looking to roll his man, but in the end the challenge comes in from Souček, and it's a corner to Arsenal, and they should have taken the lead.
Well, Bukayo Saka, that's absolutely incredible. The way he just drifts in off that right-hand side, bodies everywhere, just quick jink, 1-2, and he was away. And then he had the awareness then not to take the shot on himself, just to lay it back towards Xhaka. Brilliant block. And then Tierney with the volley as it came back out. What a save from Fabianski, tipping it onto the crossbar.
Saka will take the corner on this near side. It will be an in-swinger. High towards the 6-yard area. Tomiyasu was coming in at pace. Arsenal will have to try and recycle this though, and Ben White under pressure from Fornals does well to play it wide to this near side. Saka now looking to trick his way beyond Lanzini, and he's done so deep into the penalty area. Excellent recovery challenge though from Masuaku. Saka went flying, but Masuaku got the ball, and Fornals now for West Ham will try and get them moving. Long ball forward looking for Bowen, but it's cut out well by White. Given away though by Xhaka, straight back to Bowen. Here is Fornals on this near side with 4 minutes to play in the first half here on TalkSport. It is 0-0, it is error-strewn, but it's compelling stuff.
It's fantastic, honestly. It's a great watch in terms of the speed of play for us here. It's so difficult for the players out there. Your touch, your awareness has got to be absolutely spot on, because you've just not got time on the ball. You know, both teams in working incredibly hard off the ball.
Now West Ham have to clear again on the edge of their own area, but Dawson has given it straight to Lacazette. Now wide towards this near side again. Saka will try and attack. A weary-looking Masuaku just dangles a leg, and the ball squirts across the penalty area. Partey's volley on the run is blocked by Souček, and Arsenal have it back again. And you couldn't say that anyone's in control of this game, and anyone has actually used the ball that well at times.
No, I mean, you would say they've each had their moments. It's gone in waves, hasn't it? Arsenal will have their attacks and then have to almost have a breather, and West Ham then have an attack and then have a breather. Both defensively looking incredibly solid though.
A number of fans walking past us now towards the concourses to get their half-time refreshment, and I have to say I've seen more masks here tonight than at any other game this season, as Ødegaard plays it forward towards Martinelli in the central area, back to Partey, and now Xhaka. Tierney providing the width on the left-hand side. It's Antonio who has come back to track his run with 2 minutes to play in the first half. Now Lacazette, was he wrestled to the ground on the edge of the area by Dawson? Not according to Anthony Taylor, but it's Martinelli working so hard to win the ball back as West Ham look to turn the ball over. And here is Saka once again, high stepping as he heads towards Masuaku. Now Tomiyasu, and the Japanese international shrugs his shoulders and goes beyond Lanzini. The shot though on the run from Martinelli is repelled once again by Diop, and Antonio will try and bring it clear now for West Ham. Pace from him down the right hand side. Bowen and Fornals wait on the edge of the penalty area, but the cross is a poor one. David Moyes even ruffles his fingers through his hair, and it's gathered by Ramsdale.
Yeah, it was just so disappointing. They broke clear. Souček with a lovely interception. Saka's at Masuaku again.
Saka again looking to tease the left back as all the fans around us get on their feet. Lacazette now, right foot shot, beaten away. Martinelli, no! Brilliant save by Dawson. What a recovery challenge that was. It was spilled by Fabianski. He is injured. Martinelli looked certain to score, but Dawson came in from nowhere to ensure the ball squirted wide.
Well, it's Saka, isn't he? He's the real danger man. As soon as it goes into his feet now, Masuaku is dropping deeper and deeper, and he picked out a great pass to Lacazette, dug the ball out into that far corner. Fabianski down to make the save, and you're right, I don't know why that isn't a corner, because Dawson does brilliantly to slide across the floor and get a toe to it.
And somehow it remains 0-0, but Arsenal have had a couple of really good chances in the past couple of minutes, with 30 seconds of normal time at the end of what's been a tumultuous first half here at the Emirates Stadium, but it's still 0-0. They'll be underway shortly once again in our other commentary games on TalkSport this evening. Over on TalkSport 2, Saints 2-1 up at Palace, and on the TalkSport app, Wolves leading 1-0 at Brighton. But West Ham's defending has been superb here, and although as an attacking force they have not really functioned, they will always have a chance if they defend like this.
Yeah, it's been the keystone of David Moyes' management here at West Ham. It's clear they work incredibly hard on the training pitch in terms of organisation, but then it's getting the right characters when you look to recruit, the right defenders that are willing to properly defend, not shirk the responsibilities, and they've been excellent, especially Dawson.
We're into a single minute of added time at the end of the first half as Arsenal almost give the ball away on the edge of their own area. They do. Masuaku with a cross in, but it's volleyed clear by Gabriel up towards the halfway line. Lacazette looking to turn and keep the ball in play, and he finds Martinelli, but the ball had in fact drifted out, and it will be a throw into West Ham right at the end of the first half. And Anthony Taylor blows the whistle. Half time, no goals, but no lack of incident. Kieran Tierney seeing a shot tipped onto the crossbar by Lucas Fabianski. Gabriel Martinelli really should have scored, but it was outstanding defending almost on the goal line by Craig Dawson. West Ham have had their moments. A curling shot from Fornals just wide, but somehow at half time it is Arsenal 0, West Ham 0. Thanks, Adrian. Arsenal get the second half underway in the red and white shirts, playing from right to left as we look out from our position here just behind the technical areas at the Emirates Stadium. West Ham in their change strip of all black. A reminder of the two teams again. Arsenal, Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel and Tierney the back four, Saka, Partey, Xhaka and Martinelli across the middle, with Odegaard behind Lacazette. West Ham, Fabianski in goal, Soufal, Dawson, Diop and Masuaku, Souček and Rice, Bowen, Lanzini and Fornals behind Antonio. The former England and West Ham striker Dean Ashton is alongside us here at the Emirates Stadium. And who would have been the more annoyed manager at half-time, or maybe neither of them?
I think David Moyes. I don't think they offered enough going forward. Disappointed in Mikel Antonio. Lanzini down the centre of the pitch. Wasn't really any combination between the two, any real threat from West Ham. That'll be a disappointment for David Moyes. As for Arsenal, I thought they shaded that first half. Did have a couple of chances. Tierney obviously hit the crossbar.
Arsenal coming forward now with Lacazette powering down the centre, wide towards Saka, who shoots left-footed from the right side of the penalty area, and it's ballooned high over the top. There are still plenty of empty red and white seats here at the Emirates Stadium at the start of the second half as people make their way back from the concourses, and there were a few oohs and ahs from those behind us there as Saka fired in, but he was, in terms of an attacking threat, Arsenal's most prominent player in the opening 45 minutes, as the clearance from Fabianski quickly returned by the head of Partey, and now Partey wins it back and transfers it wide to the left-hand side, and Tierney. Martinelli was demanding the ball in field, but it's back towards Gabriel again. He's challenged by Antonio. Antonio won it, then he's frustrated as Anthony Taylor, the referee, has given a free kick, and had he been allowed to continue there, then Bowen would have been clean through.
Well, I think both sides, if they're going to stretch either defence, have still got to make runs beyond the striker, as Martinelli does there.
Martinelli now is in behind Lanzini, shoots and scores! Brilliant goal from Gabriel Martinelli, and the young Brazilian breaks the deadlock. A moment of quality from Arsenal, and West Ham, who started the night in the top four, could now be displaced by one of their London rivals. It is Arsenal 1, West Ham 0.
Well, surprise, surprise. One of the wide players runs beyond the striker. The ball gets fed in towards Lacazette's feet. He's allowed to turn. That cannot happen from a defensive point of view from West Ham, that your striker can just turn, get his head up, and then he pierces the West Ham defence. It's a great run from Martinelli inside Soufal, who doesn't spot him early enough, and then when he gets in, it's an unerring finish into that far corner, low and hard past Fabianski, right into the inside side netting. What a wonderful finish. Once he has that pace to get away, there is no catching him.
Well, West Ham have only one win in 13 games at the Emirates, and they trail here right at the start of the second half. Gabriel Martinelli, with his second of the season, also scored in the win here against Newcastle, and West Ham need to up their game.
Well, that should certainly give them a jolt, West Ham. There's no sitting back now and just absorbing pressure and looking to break. They're going to have to force the issue, which may play into Arsenal's hands as well.
Long clearance downfield for Arsenal, and headed up in the air by Masuaku. Saka was almost in again, but this time West Ham are able to recover and clear. But Martinelli, one of a crop of young players who have done so much to lift the mood around the Emirates Stadium, with the opening goal here tonight on TalkSport 4 minutes into the second half. Arsenal leading by a goal to nil. Elsewhere, Wolves still lead at Brighton with 15 minutes to play on the south coast on the TalkSport app, and it's 2-2 over on TalkSport 2 between Palace and Southampton. Both those games approaching the closing stages, but we're right at the start of the second half here, where Arsenal lead by a goal to nil. And it's remarkable, we saw them early in the season at Manchester City when they were absolutely dreadful. 3 defeats out of 3 at that stage, but a win tonight and they will be in the Champions League places once again. Now Tierney with a break forward, low ball into towards the near post, and it's blocked and then swooped upon by Fabianski. And West Ham here have barely got started at the beginning of the second half.
No, and they've really grown, haven't they, as a side, Arsenal? And of course they get labelled like they're still nowhere near good enough to challenge the top sides. Well, West Ham are a top side. Like you said, that a win this evening would leapfrog West Ham, and they have been. They've been too much for West Ham this evening. David Moyes will be disappointed. Little nutmeg roll over the bottom of his studs over the ball and through Souček's legs.
And now Saka is in behind Masuaku, finding Ødegaard on the edge of the penalty area. Squared towards Xhaka, who has forward. Xhaka with a low shot, it's blocked inside the area, almost breaks for Lacazette. And again, it's gathered at the near post by Fabianski. But West Ham here, defending at full stretch to try and stay in the game.
I mean, that's how you entertain Martinelli. With the little nutmegs, that got the crowd up.
West Ham looking to respond on the far side with Lanzini coming in field towards the edge of the penalty area, back towards Souček. Souček lofting a high ball to find Soufal, and now down the line for Bowen on the West Ham right, cuts the ball back onto the head of Granit Xhaka, and it will be a throw into West Ham on this near side with 51 minutes played here on TalkSport, and Arsenal leading by a goal to nil. Rangers leading 2-0 in Scotland now against St Johnstone. Ryan Kent with the second early in the second half. Celtic still 1 up at Ross County. Now Rice, square to the far side, and Diop. And so much of West Ham's play has been in front of Arsenal, and Fornals wanted a free kick there as he was challenged on the far side. by Tomiyasu, but now it's been given away by Arsenal. Here is Bowen with a curler, and it's beaten away by Ramsdale. It will be a corner, but all of a sudden West Ham almost come up with the equalising goal.
Well, it's the dreaded pass right across your defence from Tomiyasu, cut out by Bowen. Tierney wasn't ready for the pass, just opened up his body with his left foot, looking to curl it into that far corner. Brilliant save, Ramsdale.
Corner though for West Ham on the far side in towards Rice, and he flicks the ball on right through the 6-yard area and out for a goal kick. Almost too good a contact there from Declan Rice, but he turns in field and he gives the hurry up and the encouragement to his teammates, because now is the time for leadership here for Arsenal and for West Ham, and the Hammers really need a dose of it, trailing by a goal to nil 8 minutes into the second half.
Great point you make there. He just needs to skim it off the top of his head. Gets a little bit too much, loops it towards the back post. And no one was anticipating that. They wouldn't. They're expecting the little Tony Adams skimmer at the near post.
Arsenal leading West Ham by a goal to nil on TalkSport with Now. And don't forget, with a Now Sports Day membership, you can stream all the Sky Sports action for just $9.99 without a contract. Search Now Sports. Saka again down the right hand side for Arsenal, breaking into the penalty area, while the loops across towards Lacazette, back towards Saka again, high ball towards the far post. Martinelli will scamper towards this near side to try and keep the ball in play, and now he looks a very confident customer as once again he rolls the ball under his studs and plays it back to Tierney. Square ball now from Gabriel to find White inside the centre circle, and West Ham here at the moment cannot get hold of the ball where they want it, and they can see the throw in deep inside their own territory on the far side, their left.
I've just been so impressed with Arsenal's tempo. They will not allow West Ham to have any time on the ball when they win the ball back. That is definitely a shift away from certainly the Arsenal I've seen over the last 2 seasons.
Well, the Arsenal we saw at Everton last week.
I thought that was just an off performance, if I'm honest. Most of the games I've seen with these players playing, the effort and application's been excellent, and there has been a change. They are buying into what Arteta wants.
Ross County have equalised against Celtic in Scotland. Jack Baldwin 12 minutes into the second half as a back pass from Gabriel will interest Antonio, and Ramsdale comes flying out of his penalty area. He clears. He was then caught by Antonio and he went flying over the challenge, the Arsenal goalkeeper, and Anthony Taylor will have at least a word.
Well, he does go flying in, and he does have a right to try and get that ball as Ramsdale's about to clear. Yes, it's a bit reckless, and he's very lucky if he hasn't received a yellow card, because he certainly dives in, but Ramsdale knew that there wasn't a lot in that.
But West Ham having to chase the game. 10 minutes into the second half here on TalkSport. They've now kept only 2 clean sheets in their last 11 games in all competitions, and this would be 1 win in 6 games in the Premier League, unless they can turn this one around, and at the moment it doesn't look likely. As Bowen is challenged by Partey, he's broken things up so quickly. Now Lacazette found by Xhaka on the edge of the penalty area. Lacazette going down under the challenge of Dawson, and the referee had a think about it, Anthony Taylor, and has now given Arsenal a free kick in a very good position.
Well, he must have been waiting to see if there was any advantage, because I actually thought Lacazette, there was a tiny touch, but he makes so much of it. Oh, it's just, yes, there is a bit of a touch, but then there's the theatrics beyond that in the way that he arches his back and the arms go backwards just to really make the most of it. But that was again really sharp, clever play from Bukayo Saka.
Elsewhere on the TalkSport network, into the final 5 minutes of the 7:30 games, Wolves leading 1-0 at Brighton on the TalkSport app, and it's 2-2 between Palace and Southampton on TalkSport 2. If you download the TalkSport app and go to the live game section, you can swipe between all 3 games currently underway in the Premier League this evening. The match between Burnley and Watford was postponed at 5 p.m. due to COVID issues within the Watford squad, as West Ham have built a big wall here, and they also have a draft excluder as well, and that's Pablo Fornals. Lacazette is over the free kick along with Ødegaard. Ødegaard curls it through the wall, and it was well seen by Fabianski, who makes a decent save. Fabianski looking for the quick release there, but Martinelli impeded him, and the Arsenal goalkeeper, or rather goal scorer I should say, receives a yellow card.
Yeah, it's just naive. There's just no need for that. I know he's trying to stop the counter-attack, but you're always going to get a yellow card for that sort of thing. And I just thought Fabianski read exactly what Ødegaard was doing with that free kick. Rather than looking like he was going to bend it over the top of the wall, he tried to hit it low just to the inside of the wall. Fabianski read it beautifully.
Barrow still at Ipswich by 2-0 in the FA Cup second round replay this evening. And Arsenal women now trail Hoffenheim 3-1 in the second half of their Women's Champions League group game, and things getting just a bit tight for them there. Lacazette now turning away from Dawson, sprinting towards the edge of the West Ham penalty area, finding Martinelli, who can come in field from the left. Low cross into the near post, it's blocked by Dawson, gathered though by Lacazette once again. A stub ball in field towards Ødegaard, back towards Lacazette. Very little movement for Arsenal inside the centre, but Ødegaard receives it now. A drag back from him, finds Martinelli, who tries to curl it, and it's blocked on the edge of the area, and West Ham will try and clear, and the pressure from Antonio forces Partey to balloon the ball out on the near side for a throw into West Ham. 59 minutes played on TalkSport. 03717 223344, the number to call. Jason Cundic and Dean Saunders on the sports bar following this game to discuss all of tonight's Premier League action, and also look ahead to another big night coming up tomorrow on TalkSport. Liverpool against Newcastle. TalkSport 2 will have Chelsea against Everton, and on the TalkSport app it is Leicester against Spurs. Now Soufal down the line, right hand side for Antonio, who's able to turn, but Tierney sticks with him, and all Antonio can do is just nudge the ball off his shins, and it will be a throw-in for West Ham on this near side as Said Benrahma prepares to come on for the Hammers.
I just look at along the line of Arsenal's defence, compact, two banks of defensive red shirts, difficult to find a way through for West Ham. I'm impressed.
An hour played, Arsenal 1, West Ham 0. Lanzini wide towards Masuaku down the left hand side, but Dawson will try and change things around with a wide ball to the right, and Soufal. Now Antonio patrolling the channel, shrugs off Tierney, but Tierney did enough to win it back and find Ben White. White in field towards Lacazette, who goes down looking for the free kick, doesn't get it this time. Soufal finding Antonio wide on the right hand side once again, back towards Soufal. It's so tight for West Ham, and they've so little room to deliver a ball into the penalty area, but they do now, and it's a good ball in from Antonio. Confusion there inside the box as Gabriel was challenged by Souček, and now Soufal on this near side tries to dink it back to Antonio, only finds Lacazette. Dawson doesn't make the challenge. Lacazette bypasses him, finds Tomiyasu over the halfway line right hand side, further wide towards Saka. Tomiyasu makes the run into the area, supported by Ødegaard. Saka goes himself, delivers a cross in, headed away by Masuaku, and then Souček's clearance only finds Partey, encouraged to shoot, and he does. Now Xhaka with the ball into the area, and under pressure from Lacazette, it's stabbed away by Dawson, but West Ham have a free kick for the foul by the Arsenal captain.
Well, they did break very, very quickly, Arsenal. West Ham managed to get themselves into a good shape, and Dawson once again blocked Partey's volley, had both his hands tight to his stomach to make sure that his arms weren't in an unnatural position, even though that's pretty unnatural. Blocked the first one, and then got in a great position as the ball got fed in towards Lacazette to make sure he wasn't turned inside the box.
Headed forward by Antonio, but he was just given a nudge as he tried to play the ball in field, and it will be, as a result, an opportunity for West Ham to try and build from deep once again. And a high ball wide to this near side by Rice, looking for Soufal. Soufal finding Antonio, right corner of the penalty area, turns, plays the ball in, which is volley clear on the edge of the 6-yard box by Partey. Now Rice heads it down for Diop. Diop down the line, finding Masuaku, and Fornals in space for West Ham down the left. Full weight for the cross into the penalty area, blocked though at the near post by Partey, and the ball spins away on the far side off the corner flag, and it will only be a throw-in for West Ham. But they need to try and find some sort of rhythm from somewhere here, with 62 minutes played on TalkSport. Arsenal leading by a goal to nil.
Well, Antonio's actually come over to the right-hand side, and Bowen has gone down the middle, maybe just looking to change things slightly, see if he can get some joy over against Tierney.
Long throw into the near post, and Masuaku is headed away by Tomiyasu, then boomed high into the sky by Saka, and it will be another West Ham throw. And the West Ham fans on the far side have been rather quiet since half-time. Arsenal scoring right at the start of the second period. Soufal finding Bowen now in a central area, 20 yards out, but he clips it further wide to the left-hand side of Masuaku. Infield now to Rice. Rice, though, was closed down very quickly by Lacazette. Antonio, though, strong enough to win it back on this near side from Martinelli. Antonio looks up, drifts a high ball towards Souček, who tries to nod the ball down, but the ball skims off the top of his head, and it's gathered by Saka on the far side, and he clears high up towards the halfway line. Lacazette with impudent backheel in field to find Xhaka. Xhaka, though, dallied in the ball, and the ball is played wide to this near side. And an opportunity now for the low cross in towards Bowen at the near post from Antonio, and he skies it high and wide.
Well, he's causing problems for Tierney, Antonio, because he's figured he's not getting much joy against Gabriel and White, so he's come across to Tierney, and he's physically too strong. He just brushed Tierney aside, drove down the right hand side, cut the ball back to Bowen, and Bowen, if he'd have just heard Fornals shout to leave it, Fornals was coming onto it, would have hit it with his right foot. Instead, Bowen from behind his body tried to get the ball back in towards goal and made a mess of it.
Martin Odegaard coming off, Emile Smith-Rowe coming on for Arsenal. Currently Arsenal 1, West Ham 0. Here are the latest odds from Betfair, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage. You can back Arsenal at 3-1 on, the draw at 4-1, West Ham at 18-1. That odds update, all thanks to Betfair, where you'll get no cash-out suspensions on match odds and over-under goal markets on football. 18+, begambleaware.org. You surprised Odegaard's been taken off?
No, I think he's not particularly got himself into the game when you've got someone like Smith-Rowe on the bench. If there is one of those front four that's not performing, rightly so, you should bring him on.
Now an opportunity for Martinelli, squared towards Lacazette inside the area. He goes down again under the challenge of Dawson, who clearly won the ball. Well, did he? Because the penalty is being given. Anthony Taylor took an age to give that decision and then pointed to the spot.
Well, Lacazette is writhing in agony, and you just wonder whether that has had any influence on the referee.
Well, it's a red card out as well. Dissent from Vladimir Soufal. He was booked in the early stages, a second yellow, and in the aftermath of the penalty award, West Ham are down to 10 men.
Well, my initial thoughts were, what a fantastic challenge that was from Soufal. And it was. I mean, he got the ball. He does get the ball. Yes, he gets a bit of Lacazette. But it's a great challenge. There's absolutely no way that is a penalty or a sending off.
Well, I wonder what Stockley Park are looking at. Lacazette went flying over the challenge, but Soufal clearly won the ball inside the area.
I mean, look, he's gone to make the challenge, and as he's got the challenge, he's got the top of the ball, and then obviously his leg has gone over the top of the ball and caught Lacazette, and his left foot has then got the ball as well. it's a last-ditch challenge of which he gets the ball.
Peter Banks is the VAR at Stockley Park. And it looks like Lacazette is shaping to take the penalty here.
It's funny that, isn't it?
Soufal is coming off.
It's funny that how 1 minute he is writhing in agony, smacking his fist against the floor, and the next minute he's got himself up and he can take the penalty. Incredible.
Well, Soufal is coming off, and he's getting the send-off from the Arsenal supporters. He's shaking his head as he makes his way towards this near side. And there are words as well with the fourth official. And David Moyes is joining Soufal, and Soufal is having a long, animated discussion here with the fourth official. But on the field, Lacazette will now take the penalty for Arsenal. Lacazette steps up, right-footed. It's saved! A brilliant save by Fabianski. The cross back into the penalty area is headed away by Dawson. And West Ham may believe that partial justice has been done there. Lacazette won the penalty. Soufal was sent off, but Lacazette has missed the penalty.
Brilliantly read from Fabianski. He waits and waits, and he goes at the last second. He doesn't move at all. Lacazette's side foot. It's an okay penalty. It's not got an incredible amount of pace on it. With the side foot, Fabianski reads it and palms it wide. A little bit of justice, I have to say. It was a great challenge from Soufal, but that clearly nowadays is not allowed in the Premier League. A tackle where you get some of the ball and part of the attacker. That is a shame to say that.
Well, David Moyes is pacing around the technical area at the moment. Anthony Taylor has become a central character here, giving the penalty, sending off Soufal. And do you look at the force of the challenge?
No, look, it's last ditch because Lacazette is about to strike it, so he lunges in, of course, blocks the ball, but his leg goes slightly over the top of the ball and catches Lacazette, which is just natural. There's no way it's a penalty or a red card.
It's finished 2-2, Palace against Southampton at Selhurst Park in what was your TalkSport 2 commentary game. They are deep into added time on the south coast, where Brighton lead Wolves by a 1-0. And the conclusion of that game is on the TalkSport app. Well, the West Ham fans are chanting 1-0 to the referee.
All I would say is, and it's a thing that really annoys me about VAR and having the screens here, why has Anthony Taylor not been able to go over and have another look at that challenge and then make the decision? If he then still feels like it's the right decision, then fair enough, but why not go and just have a look at something that's so 50-50 in the challenge?
Now Antonio sprinting forward for West Ham on this near side, infield towards Lanzini, back towards Antonio again, but he was always on the stretch, and he full length goes clattering into the advertising hoardings behind the goal, but he's okay, and it will be a goal kick. Well, Peter Banks, the VAR official, presumably said, go with your original decision.
But this is the problem. I spoke about it on Drive with Aid on Monday, in that, it's almost like you're protecting the referee's decision. Like, let him go and have a look at it. Let him go and then decide, because it's such a crucial decision.
It was in his mind because he took a number of seconds to give the penalty,
which is fine. But you've got a screen. You've just got a penalty and sent somebody off. Just go and have another look at it.
Aaron Ramsdale's just been booked for time wasting as he clears downfield, and we have 19 minutes to play on TalkSport. Arsenal leading by a 1-0, but controversy in the second half following the goal from Martinelli. Vladimir Soufal sent off after giving away a penalty. Replays told us that he won the ball, but the penalty was then missed by Lacazette. An excellent save from Fabianski. Now Antonio on this near side, twisting and turning beyond Martinelli, and Antonio still looking to go beyond it, but Martinelli sticks with him, and in the end the challenge comes in, and all West Ham have is a throw-in by the corner flag on this near side. Taken quickly in towards Dawson, challenged by Lacazette. Lacazette then goes down, and this time he's told to get up by Anthony Taylor. Souček now just in front of us on this near side, back towards Antonio again for West Ham. Lacazette makes the challenge, almost won back by Lanzini, and there was an opportunity now for Arsenal to try and break, but Rice will ease beyond Smith Rowe, his England teammate, and Fornals goes back towards Diop. And how have West Ham reorganised here?
Well, he's got number 9 on his back, but he's playing like a number 2. Antonio has gone to right back, which has kept that back 4 intact.
He's played as a wing back before, hasn't he? So
he has, yeah. And he looks like he's enjoying it.
Oh, here's a long ball forward, headed down by Tomiyasu behind Ramsdale, who was able to recover. It was one of those long diagonal balls forward, and Tomiyasu with a complete lack of communication between himself and Ramsdale. Unfortunately for him, there was not enough power on the header.
Got lucky, didn't he? Got very, very lucky. It wasn't going into the goal. It would have gone wide, but just a little moment.
They're into the 11th minute of added time at the Amex. They're still playing there, and Wolves still lead by a goal to nil. We'll be finished before them at this rate. Here is Tierney. Infield again towards Xhaka. 17 minutes to play here. Arsenal leading West Ham by a goal to nil. 03717 223344, the number to call. Jason Cundy and Dean Saunders following us at 10 o'clock. Now Tierney inside the penalty area for Arsenal. Cut back towards Partey. Xhaka. Tierney again swings a good cross into the penalty area, and Masuaku at the far post on the run has to divert the ball behind for a corner.
Well, they're going to have to come under a lot of pressure, West Ham, and hope they can break away. And Arsenal, after missing that fantastic chance from the penalty spot through Lacazette, they've got to get this second goal, you'd think, because all it's going to take, it might just take a set play for West Ham while it's still 1-0.
Said Benrahma will be on shortly, but not before the Arsenal corner here, which will be taken by Bukayo Saka. In towards the 6-yard area, it's flicked on, but Gabriel will have to retreat to this near side to try and keep the move alive. Now Martinelli, infield again towards Tierney. High left-footed ball towards the edge of the penalty area. Martinelli is onside, delivers the cross in. It's blocked by the stand-in right-back Michail Antonio, and it will be a corner here for Arsenal down their left with 15 minutes to play.
Again, great positioning defensively from Michail Antonio, getting across, stopping that ball being flashed across the 6-yard line.
They're still playing. They're into the 103rd minute at the Amex. Wolves still leading. Corner here for Arsenal, high towards the far post, it's flicked away, volley back towards goal and wide at the far post. And another opportunity comes to nothing as West Ham make the change, and it's Manuel Lanzini who will come off to be replaced by Said Benrahma.
Well, I'm not sure quite how things will be reshuffled, if at all. Lanzini had just dropped into a deeper midfield role. Whether now Benrahma will try and get close to Bowen with Antonio out wide, there's not a huge amount they're able to do, West Ham.
Arsenal 1, West Ham 0 on TalkSport with WeBuyAnyCar.com. Hundreds of branches, usually only 15 minutes away. Find yours now. Wolves have won 1-0 at Brighton. So an important win for Bruno Lage's team. Unsurprisingly narrow victory for them in a match between two teams who struggle for goals. It also finished Palace 2, Southampton 2 at Selhurst Park. Tomorrow night, more Premier League action across the TalkSport network. On the app at 7:30, it is Leicester against Spurs. 7:45, TalkSport 2. I'll be alongside Trevor Sinclair at the Bridge for Chelsea against Everton, and Adrian will be alongside Sam Matterface and Mickey Gray at Anfield for the 8 o'clock kickoff here on TalkSport between Liverpool and Newcastle.
Well, it's about game management now for Arsenal. realistically, there shouldn't be any reason why they don't continue to probe, maybe get a second goal, but don't concede an equaliser here.
Now it's flicked on by Bowen, looking for Benrahma, but well read by Gabriel, who pokes it forward towards Lacazette. It breaks for Saka as he breaks into the penalty area, and then Lacazette was challenging Fabianski, who did well to slide out at the striker's feet and gather for West Ham with 12.5 minutes to play here on TalkSport. Arsenal 1, West Ham 0, and you can get reaction from this game and all of the night's Premier League action from 4 a.m. every weekday morning. Download the TalkSport Daily podcast, including some of the best bits from TalkSport and TalkSport 2 over the previous 24 hours. The TalkSport Daily, and you can listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify or Acast.
And you just wonder, with this young Arsenal side, in these sorts of situations, who is going to be the player that makes sure they keep calm, they keep possession, the game management of the right manner till the end of this game.
Saka back towards Tomiyasu. Well, Arsenal fans have been crying out for true leaders for some time, and maybe we'll discover who has the necessary qualities now. Xhaka finding Tierney, good ball into the area for Martinelli, driven back and then diverted wide by Saka, and it was a brilliant challenge by Diop to prevent a second Arsenal goal.
Well, I've lost count of how many shot-saving blocks West Ham defenders have made. He's a little bit lucky though, Diop, because he turns his back slightly, he doesn't know anything about it, ricochets off his inner thigh and just misses the post by a couple of inches.
Corner kick for Arsenal once again with 11 minutes to play at the Emirates Stadium, leading by a goal to nil. Martinelli high into the penalty area. West Ham will clear. One back by Smith Rowe, looking to pick his way through the bodies, and he swings in a right-footed shot from the edge of the area, which is gathered by Fabianski.
Well, he had to do a little hop, skip and a jump over the ball as Saka was in his way, and then just rearranged his feet to get the side foot almost pass into the far corner, and obviously just didn't have enough power to trouble Fabianski.
Now Antonio just barges Martinelli over right in front of Mikel Arteta on this near side. Martinelli is headed off towards the running track, and it will be a free kick for Arsenal. As we head towards the final 10 minutes, Barrow are going through in the FA Cup, leading Ipswich by 2-0 in their replay in added time. Rangers have beaten St Johnstone by 2-0 in the Scottish Premiership. Still 1-1 between Ross County and Celtic in added time. And in the Women's Champions League, Arsenal are making a real mess of qualifying. They trail Hoffenheim 4-1 in their final groups game. If they concede another goal, they could be in real trouble, and they could be heading out. Now Saka back towards Tomiyasu once again with 9.5 minutes to play here on TalkSport. 03717 223344 is the number to call to speak to Jason and Dean in the sports bar at 10 o'clock. And treatment continues here for Martinelli on this near side.
Well, as he got shoved off the pitch by Antonio, it looked like, I don't know, did he have cramp or he actually had an issue with his knee? Arteta actually grabbed him, shoved him back on the pitch as if to say, we need you out there, and he's then gone down on the pitch and they put the ball out, but I don't think he's going to be able to continue.
Declan McCarthy, our producer, has been talking to the PGMOL about the penalty decision for Arsenal, and they've said it was looked at, but VAR didn't feel it was a clear error, hence why they didn't recommend sending him over to the screen. PGMOL added he does get the ball, then follows through on the man, and VAR obviously can't intervene because it was a second yellow card.
I just don't see how it can't help that he goes and has another look. What is this obsession with not wanting to look like you might have made a mistake? I wouldn't even call it a mistake, to be honest, because it happens so quickly and it's a 50-50 challenge. You know, you've got to be a special talent as a referee to be able to know exactly whether that was a penalty and a sending off. I think he's just got to go and have a quick look at it.
Well, it's history now. West Ham are down to 10 men with 8 minutes to play, and here is Benrahma coming forward now for them on the far side. Tricky feet as he's challenged by Partey and then fouled by Partey, and it will be a free kick here for West Ham, and they take it quickly. They don't choose to load the penalty area. Dawson finding Antonio on this near side, the right, challenged by Tierney. He then runs into the challenge on this near side again, but it is a throw-in for West Ham. Eddie Nketiah has come on for Arsenal as they look to see this game out, replacing Martinelli.
Antonio has actually been really good out here on the right hand side as a right back / wing back.
High cross to the far post for West Ham from Antonio, but it's gathered with no real alarms for Aaron Ramsdale, who has not really had a shot to save, has he, with 7 minutes to play?
Not really, not one that's tested him to the full. Souček is maybe the only one, when that ball goes wide to Antonio or to Bowen, he's dashing into the area to at least give a threat when that ball is played in, but you've got to keep it away from Ramsdale.
7 minutes to play here on TalkSport. Arsenal still leading by a goal to nil. West Ham have a fairly thin bench this evening in terms of experience, and Harrison Ashby, a Scottish under-21 international, will be coming on to make his Premier League debut, and it's Pablo Fornals who has gone off. Ashby is a central defender usually, or a wide player, so he will come in on the right hand side, and Antonio will resume his regular position down the centre.
Yeah, I think obviously he looked good on the right hand side, Antonio, but you want your top scorer down the middle of the pitch. So look, it was great to see so many young players play in the Europa League for West Ham. This is a different type of game to come on and play right back as you're down to 10 men as well.
But Arsenal are closing in on a top 4 place at the end of this evening. Headed away by White above Antonio, and now Partey clips it forward again for Arsenal, taken down superbly by Smith Rowe, but it's quickly cut out by Diop, and we had such a frenetic first half, full of incident, full of pace, but it's been a different sort of story now as Antonio looks to bulldoze his way into the penalty area, and 2 Arsenal players just about held him off. Now Rice wide to the far side, and Benrahma. What can the Algerian conjure up here for West Ham? He'll take on Tomiyasu, beats him once and then comes back for another go. Now Rice takes over on the far side, the West Ham left, and Rice makes the run down the line, but it's back to Masuaku, and he didn't quite have the confidence to play it forward there to Rice, which would have been the attacking pass. So West Ham will try and build again here with Ashby on this near side. A good ball in field to find Bowen. Now Benrahma in a central area, 25 yards out, finding Souček. First time cross is driven in, but blocked by White, and West Ham will have a throw in by the corner flag on this near side.
Well, they're pushing West Ham. They're not going to settle. Souček again making a run from midfield.
Here is Rice now as the Arsenal fans turn up the volume once again. Headed away by Nketiah. The ball strikes Dawson on the hand, but Anthony Taylor saw that, but clearly believes there was no intent, and play will continue. Here is Benrahma. He's lost out to Tomiyasu, but Benrahma working hard to try and win it back, but it's Saka who brings the ball clear now for Arsenal over the halfway line, wide towards Smith Rowe on the right. He's got Lacazette waiting in the centre. Smith Rowe goes himself. Oh, wonderful goal from Emile Smith Rowe. That's why he's the future of Arsenal Football Club, and the present isn't bad either. He wraps up the victory. 2-0 they lead West Ham, and Arsenal, despite all their troubles at the start of the season, are heading into the top 4.
They are a breath of fresh air, aren't they? Bukayo Saka and Emile Smith Rowe. The combination time and time again already this season has been electric. And as soon as they won the ball off Benrahma, they were away. Lovely ball in towards Saka from Smith Rowe. He reversed it back to Smith Rowe, and then again the run from Saka just opens up a bit of space for Smith Rowe. Saka's run across Diop just takes Diop's attention away. Smith Rowe drops it onto his left foot, and how many times do we see it? When you strike it and the defender goes to block, it squeezes through their legs and the goalkeeper can't see it, which is why Fabianski doesn't move, as it just arrows into the corner for 2-0.
Emile Smith-Rowe's 7th goal of the season. Alexandre Lacazette is now coming off to be replaced by Nuno Tavares, and the Emirates Stadium is jubilant. Arsenal heading into the Champions League places, and you can talk about this on the Sports Bar. 03717 223344. They'll also be talking about it on Breakfast Tomorrow with Alan Brazil, Ali McCoist and Neil Warnock from 6 o'clock on TalkSport. And this has been another very significant night for Arsenal. They do have young players. They can throw in poor performances like Everton and like other ones we have seen recently throughout the season, but they are building a consistent body of work here.
They are, and when are people going to start to sort of sit up and realise that they're a good team, this Arsenal young side?
90 seconds to play. Souček was looking to shoot on the edge of the area, caught by Partey, and it will be a free kick here for West Ham, about 20 yards out, left of centre.
And the thing is with the young players is, if you get them on side and they're willing to work for each other, which they have done, the tempo in that first half and the start of the second half, quite outstanding from this young Arsenal side. And then they've dropped deep, and then they've looked to break. It's been a really, really good performance. West Ham haven't been anywhere near their best, I have to say, and a big decision, of course, to go down to 10 men. But you can't say Arsenal won't deserve a victory here if they get over the line.
Benrahma is over the free kick. Celtic, with 10 men, have scored in the 97th minute to win their game at Ross County. Anthony Ralston has got the goal. So both of the old firm have won tonight. Benrahma over the free kick, curls it right-footed. The wall leaps and does its job. Back towards Benrahma again. Now Aspie under pressure. All the youngster can do is go back to the halfway line, and Dawson, as we tick towards the end of 90 minutes here. Aspie now looking to break from Dawson's ball down the right-hand side. Infield again, and we'll have 5 added minutes here. Good cross into the penalty area from Bowen, but it's headed away by White, and Ketia looking to control for Arsenal. Tierney just lifts it high and long towards the halfway line. Rice stepping in before Saka, and Rice with a back pass all the way to Fabianski, and Fabianski clears long downfield again. Xhaka strong enough to hold off Souček and head the ball forward, and Thomas Souček has been such a great signing for West Ham, but he is a player at the moment going through a bad patch.
He is. There's a few in that West Ham side just in this recent run that maybe haven't hit the levels that they've set themselves, to be honest. They've set themselves such high standards that when they don't reach them, then a few questions will be asked. Will it be another clean sheet for this Arsenal side as well?
Now Tavares on this near side. Had Tierney in space inside the area, but it's cleared away by Aspie, who did well there when he was outnumbered. Now Tierney again, finding Partey. Partey can break towards the edge of the penalty area. 1 win, 2 draws and 3 defeats now for West Ham as they slip out of the top 4 for the first time in a long time. But for Arsenal, they will believe they are on the rise, and the fans here tonight certainly believe it. Tierney once again finding Tavares, and Arsenal are knocking the ball around here with real confidence and with the degree of arrogance which they've earned here with the way they played at times in the second half. I'm sure David Moyes will point to the red card, and its timing was crucial midway through the second period when it was only 1-0.
Oh, he'll have his opinion on it. I'm pretty sure of that.
And we'll speak to him live in the sports bar following 10 o'clock. 03717 223344 is the number to call to speak to Jason and Dean as Arsenal come forward again now. Another long-range shot is fired in, but it's high over the top this time. But Arsenal know the job has been done, even though the shot there from Xhaka was wayward.
And it just shows how important that second goal can be, especially against a team that's got 10 players, and it's just totally took any steam that West Ham had left out of them.
Don't forget tomorrow, Leicester against Spurs on the app, Chelsea against Everton on TalkSport 2, Liverpool against Newcastle on TalkSport. Adrian will be live from Anfield on TalkSport 2 with the build-up from 6 o'clock. Then on Saturday, 12:30, game day is back. Manchester United against Brighton. Middlesbrough against Bournemouth will be over on TalkSport 2. All the goals as they go in with Adrian from 2:30. Over on 2, Villa against Burnley at 3 o'clock. Leeds against Arsenal. Also live and exclusive to National Radio on TalkSport at 5:30. And we have a Sunday game as well at noon, Everton against Leicester. As Tavares comes forward now for Arsenal, looking to play in Tierney on this near side, and it's blocked by Ashby, and Arsenal finishing this game utterly in control.
It's been a really good performance from Arsenal right from that first half, when the tempo was difficult for West Ham to cope with, but they managed to match, and then they started the second half brilliantly as well.
Here is Nketiah finding Partey once again. Now Smith Rowe on the edge of the area. All the party pieces coming out from Arsenal now, but Rice will make the challenge. And then there's a missed kick by Souček on the edge of the box, and he was fortunate that Craig Dawson was waiting behind him.
Yeah, they look tired, West Ham, which you would
They've been leggy for a couple of weeks, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. You know, he doesn't like to change the team too much. They've obviously had injury issues, like every team seems to have.
Now Saka on the charge once again into the penalty area, left-hand side. The cross, though, is just behind Smith Rowe. West Ham looking a bit ragged now, but it's infield towards Nketiah. Nketiah now 7 yards out, shuffling towards the byline, almost beckoning West Ham defenders towards him. And the challenge is made, and it will be a throw-in to Arsenal on the far side. And plenty of youngsters here tonight, not too far away from the school Christmas holidays, and they've all had a great time. Full-time whistle. Arsenal are back into the Champions League places. A crucial victory over a West Ham side who are just beginning to lose touch with the leading teams. Controversy abounds at the Emirates Stadium, but Arsenal were just too good at times as well. It is finished. Arsenal 2, West Ham United 0.